What's going on? Dom back with you, seeking a thread. I'm seeking a thread. And I found one last night. I was intending to do a couple of different videos, but last night I was actually working on the Kevin Ayers video I did and doing a few other things, some work, and I tuned quickly to a live stream that Davis Winchester was doing. I remember when I tuned in, they were talking about, it was Mazzy, he was on there, he was saying like, do a soul video, someone's got to do a soul video, it's Black History Month. And I just that's the first thing I saw, and I was like, that's a good point. There's not enough soul being shown. Well, there's some. I've definitely seen some. But I thought it'd be a good opportunity to pull together a bunch of records, even work on a new radio show with some of these in mind. And it is Black History Month. So, you know, there's plenty of jazz being shown, of course, but why not show some soul records? So let's just do that. I got a pretty good pile here. I always pick more than I should. First one I'll show is Johnny Adams. Heart and Soul is on the Soul International. Shelby Singleton International Productions is the label. This is great. Sort of a swampy country, but funk and soul. He is out of New Orleans. And this is a great deep soul, but funk. Just a good driving backbeat to it, and then just some nice ballads too. I think this is his only LP. He had some singles, and that is it. So Johnny Adams, Heart and Soul.
In a moment of weakness, in a twinkling of an eye, I held.
Here's some great Northern Soul, I suppose it would be. Arthur Alexander. He was out of, Wright, Memphis. He was one of the first artists to record at Muscle Shoals, but didn't really get his due. I think he had people covering his hits like the Beatles. The song I got really into him with Pretty Girls Everywhere. Great song. Played this at my wedding, actually. And this is an ace comp of his singles. And he had a few other records and things, and a bunch of singles, really. I think they're all pretty tough to get. But I love this ace comp. Arthur Alexander.
Cheating, betraying, low down the line. Makes no difference where she's been. I'm no self and doing those things again. Breaking hearts.
It's Shirley Ellis. This is a live record. She was out of New York City. A little bit of tear on here, but this is a great live recording. So vibrant and bombastic, we'll say. She had the hit with the clapping song, I think it is. Pretty big hit for her. Probably even says it on here somewhere. But in any case, Shirley Ellis, great soul singer. This is on the Congress label. And again, a great live recording. It really comes through. Here's one. This is a real interesting one. Doris Duke out of Florida. This is her first album on the Canyon label from 1970, I think it is. And produced by Jerry Williams, who I believe is Mr. Swamp Dogg, who has a whole, wow, what a career of producing records he had. But this is really an interesting record in that it's all about her being dumped and feeling like a loser. And all the song titles are great. Ghost of Myself, I Can't Do Without You, Feet Start Walking, I Don't Care Anymore, Congratulations Baby, To the Other Woman. Now this is sort of, more deep soul. It doesn't really get too funky. Just like really great soul tracks. Good, she has a deep voice, Doris Duke. And really it's cool to hear this perspective through the whole record. That's kind of what you get for the whole thing. And, definitely recommend this one. You can pick this one up, not too cheap. And there are reissues of this too. Or not, I should say, not too expensive, pretty cheap. Doris Duke.
Oh, darling, I can't do without you. Oh, I can't do without you.
it's sealed really for nothing. Jesse Hill. This is on one of my favorite labels. I'm not sure why. I always just love the Blue Thumb label. But Jesse Hill had the hit with the Oop Oop A Doo, or Oop. Yeah, I think that's the name of the song. And this one is something that you never really hear about. This again gets kind of swampy, sort of Southern soul. It starts off with a really obscure cosmic track. Now I kept this in the shrink, but it has like an actual die cut sort of. You can turn this sort of like a Led Zeppelin 3 style. And I don't usually like to keep gatefolds, but you know, I do keep them in the shrink, especially if they're old records. But in any case, this is a really cool Southern soul and just good time record. And it starts off with this almost like new age cosmic sort of like introduction. I'll have to play some of that. It doesn't really have anything to do with the album, but I always was blown away by it. It's called Naturally on the Blue Thumb label. And most of this stuff is from the late 60s that I have. No date on this, so I'm going to assume it's 68 or 69. Here's another compilation. This is some fantastic, super hard-hitting soul by Little Ann. This is Deep Shadows, a compilation of her singles. She was out of the Memphis area, I believe it was. And this is a compilation done by Timian Records. I think this is a European label. This is so good. So catchy. So, like I said, hard-hitting. Funky. She's got an attitude. The song Deep Shadows on the back. What a great song.
Guilty look on your face at every kid round last night. Who are you trying to fool, baby? Can't fool anybody else. Oh, and if you look around, you will plainly see.
James and Bobby Purified, who had the hit with I'm Your Puppet. And let's see, it's written by Spooner Oldham. But this has got all sorts of hits on it, or all sort of well-known songs. So Change Is Gonna Come is on here. Stuff by Steve Cropper, of course, of the MGs and the Muscle Soul sound. This is recorded there. That's right. It was a hit. What a great song! The whole record is great production on this. I mean, it's Muscle Shoals, so you know what you're gonna get. Who else is on here? Fame Recording Studio staff musicians, but James and Bobby Purify. They do Knock on Wood, of course. You know that one. I've Been Loving You Too Long. Otis Redding produced or written song with Jared Butler. What else? That's basically it. You have a bunch more Penn Oldham compositions, but a really sweet soul record. And I just love I'm Your Puppet. Such a cool. With the what is it, the vibraphone or the xylophone that's in there. Such a cool vibe on that song, and such a sweet ballad.
Once you get me have to rush. Let's not call it a night now, baby. I'm still hungry for your touch. Let's not be quick to do, baby.
Here's some more hard-hitting soul from Wendy Renee. She was out of, I want to say Chicago. I'll have to put that in. But she's mostly known for her song being sampled by Wu-Tang Clan. I believe it was Barbecue. This is a Lightmatic compilation of all of her singles. Another fantastic soul record. After Laughter Comes Tears, complete stacks and bolt. There you go. Wendy Renee. Super fun, super groovy. All of those, I think there's, previously unreleased, a few previously unreleased cuts on this. And her cuts with the Drapels are on here as well. This is originally from 2012. I don't know if this is in print anymore. Lightmatic records seem to sort of be around and then they go out of print and they do colored editions, but they all seem to come back. But just great to see all those stacks and bold labels. This is fantastic 60s soul. As good as anything. Here's one that's a little more in the oldies vein, but or R&B jump blues, I guess, maybe. It is Huey Pianosmith and his Clowns, Having a Good Time. This is tough to find in good shape. I found this at the Salvation Army for like 50 cents. And the sleeve is great, gold thick sleeve. This is from the early 60s. On the Ace label. And the vinyl actually doesn't look great, but it plays like a dream in mono. This is just fun. I put this on and my wife hadn't heard it, and we just had a blast that night just listening to this. Just like the whole thing. It's so, I said vibrant before, but that comes out again. Just so alive, and he's just having so much fun. I mean, that's literally what the name of the album is. Having a good time. And Don't You Just Know It is just a killer. I love it. And the hit on here is it just, I think it's Having a Good Time is the hit. Or High Blood Pressure. Yeah. High Blood Pressure, Don't You Just Know was a hit. Don't You Know, oh yeah, Don't You Know Yakimo. That's a fun song. It's sort of goofy, but just fun. And like I said, it just jumps out of the speakers. Like there can be some surface noise in this, it does not matter. Huey Pianosmith. See if you can find this one. I think nice copies can be, like 30 or 40 bucks, but found this pretty cheap, about 50 cents, and I think you can still find it. I don't really know. I haven't looked it up recently. It's a great record. So this is one that Davis, who I just started watching his videos, if you're watching this, nice stuff. And he showed this. This is like a different version of the one on Verve, his first record. Just as just this classic, nice soul album. He's out of, I think he's Southern as well, if it says here, but this is like Howard Tate had another. He started having a few other records for Atlantic, I want to say, which I haven't heard those. But this came into my local shop, and it was recommended to me, and I snagged it. This is a few years ago now. Kind of I don't know what's going on here with the dog popping out of his chest. I don't know what this means. Great soul album though. Howard Tate, self-titled, by the way.
Lord, I'm gonna find me a part-time lover. I've got to find me.
Gino Washington. He was out of Detroit. This is, again, sort of gritty Detroit soul. The song Around the Town. This kind of gets more in the oldies style. It's not necessarily like a classic soul sound. But the song Around the Town on here is so good. And the rest of it is just like, gets a little more northern, I suppose. And this is on the Norton label compilation. I heard one of these songs. I heard the song Around the Town that's on here. On, I think it was WFMU playing it. And I was obsessed. I had to find the record right away. Norton. One of the great reissue labels, by the way. Putting together cheap, good way to get a lot of early, really good great music was the Norton label. They deserve some credit. Gino Washington, though, great stuff. Wood, Oogum Boogum. Man, this is great. This record is hit after hit to me. Oogum Boogum, the song, is just infectious. Alex Chilton will later do a version of it, and it's just so damn catchy. And of course, Give Me a Little Sign, he did a version of that. That was one of his signature songs, if not his signature song. But this is on the Double Shot label, which is the same. This is a mono. It's the same label that Count Reaction, Count 5, same label that Count 5 Psychotic Reaction was recorded, and he does a version of it, and it's great. It's not terribly different than Count 5's version, but he makes it his own. And yeah, who wrote the songs? It doesn't appear he was. Let's see. Here's some great shots in the back with Dick Clark. I don't think it was really Brenton Wood writing the songs, but great sounding record. Just, you'll be dancing all night long with this one. Gotta play this one or show this one. I got this, I remember getting this in Vermont, a store in Brattleboro. I don't know why I always remember that, but it's Charles Wright and the 103rd Street Rhythm Band, of course, with Express Yourself on it. Classic funky soul record on the Warner 7 Arts label. I haven't listened to this one. I haven't listened to in a little while. I think it's time to play it. Green label. It's a good record all the way through, though. It's not just, that's the last song on the album. I know that. No, last song on the first side. High as Apple Pie, Slice 2, and Slice 1 you get on here. Charles Wright. This is from 1970. Express Yourself.
All about love land and all of its illusion, but I know I'll never get to love land unless I wrap up.
Oh man, he's a great New Orleans funk. This is more on the funk side of things as I'm getting more into funky soul. Betty Harris with members of the Meters backing her up. This is just incredible stuff. Soul jazz label. Lost Queen of New Orleans Soul, Betty Harris. Stunning collection of deep soul and heavyweight funk from Betty Harris, produced with Alan Toussaint and the Meters from 64 to 69. If this is still out there, I highly recommend this. This is great classic New Orleans soul. I mean, the Meters are playing on it. Alan Toussaint's producing. She's got a great voice. This is a killer. And now this is mainly all of her singles, I believe it is. Or it's just a compilation, all in all. A double LP. Soul Jazz does great work, if you don't know the Soul Jazz label. A lot of reggae, a lot of ska, but also all sorts of international stuff. And they did a bunch of New Orleans soul compilations, like 3 volumes. But this Betty Harris is a keeper, for sure. I'm going to show these two together. Lee Moses, Time and a Place, and his singles. These are Light in the Attic reissues. Out of Atlanta, this guy was a guitarist and producer. And I believe he was producing much of this stuff himself. Now, he wasn't really writing, I don't think, but he was playing. And apparently he was a great guitarist. This is his one album he did, and it's amazingly rare. You'll never find it. And this is a reissue of that on here. His version of California Dreaming on here is incredible. His covers are so good. He died pretty young. I forget when. There's a whole story about him here. But this is, like I said, the Light in the Attic or modern Future Days recordings. But it's basically Light in the Attic. His version of Free at Last is amazing. Just arresting. Time and a Place, the first song on this, is awesome. And the singles are all of his rare singles. This is some colored wax, if anyone cares. Oh, I forgot it was like that. The song Diana from NYC. Oh, I was obsessed with that song. Yeah, the album is from 1971, and these singles are basically before it. Bad Girl is the sort of a classic Bad Girl Part 1 and 2 on here. His version of Day Tripper is great. Like I said with Light in the Attic, these are in and out of print. Look for Lee Moses. I mean, I cannot recommend these enough. Every single song is a killer. And his voice, he's got that rasp, but that he hits those notes, and his guitar playing is great. These are like probably my favorite soul records, The Time and the Place and the singles. Lee Moses.
Ever since the day I laid my eyes on, I couldn't stop saying her name. Oh, Diana. Darling, I need you.
Alright, moving into some more funky stuff. This is, I don't know why I bought this one. It seemed like something, I don't have anything else quite like this. But it's the Harlem Underground. I have this next to like my Hot Chocolate records, which I also have. I have a bunch more soul and funk. This is young George Benson on this, and Paul Winley, and the Harlem Underground. The song on here that I've come back to, and this I think most people do, is Smoking Chiba Chiba. Real sort of almost a disco, funk, trippy, sort of strange song, long, and it's all sort of long-winded sort of drug songs, really, or just like, this feels like they would have been in like Studio 54 or whatever. But there's a story behind this record, and I wish I knew it off the top of my head. Maybe I'll put a little blurb quickly about what the deal with this is, but I know it's a young George Benson, and the singer Ann Winley is on this. There's something to be said about this record. I know it's good, and I know that it'll get you moving, like a lot of this music will.
Chiba Chiba. Chiba Chiba. Dynamite. You dig that Chiba Chiba, bro? Yeah.
Here's a strange one, more in the private press realm. And just strange, odd, psychedelic soul and funk. It's Junior and his Soulettes. This is not an original copy. This is just like, men are kids, and it tells you the age of all of them. 5, 4, well, no, it actually says it on the label. But this is all kids doing like some of the coolest sort of tripped out funk music with like great drumming, actually. It says it on the label. Guitar and vocalist age 10, bass, organ age 9, drummer age 7, wah-wah, organ, and vocalist age 6. There's a bunch of different unofficial releases of versions of this. I highly recommend this. It sort of like gets a little bit thin by the end of it because they can't really play that well. I mean, they're 6 to 10, 8, 9 years old. But for how old they are, they're really actually quite good. It's just very slapdash and stripped down and sort of loose, but fun as heck. And it's called Psychodelic Sounds. I mean, can't get much better than that. Junior and a Soulettes. That's a 45, I think, too. What great shots here, too. And the last one. This is called Marvin Warmonger. I'm not going to bother taking this out. I don't know how badly this is reflecting right now, but this is a deep space funky funk record. This is funk. It's called Warmonger, or Marvin Warmonger by the Mark III. And it's basically, like some late 16, 17, 18-year-old kids with like, they found this vocalist. The producer of this found this vocalist, like nothing to do with the band, and brought him in. And he's the singer on this. And there's some great synth sounds, great space synth. It's sort of like a little bit like funkadelic at times, but stripped down, strange, but very groovy. The first song, I think it's Freak Scene, or not Freak Scene. It might be. I'm gonna play cut off the first track, and I'll put the name of it. This is like the Now Again Reserve Edition, which is like, I don't know, they figured out a way to charge you like $50 for a record. I got this for much less used, but the originals are not going to happen. So I definitely check this out. Preview the first song and jump through. It's weird. It's funky. It's great.
Street scene. Street scene.
So that's everything I got. Thanks a lot, VC. Been really enjoying the videos. As I've said before, this is my soul and funk. Shout outs to everyone who's been watching. Like I said, I'm going to be working on a contest soon. And I appreciate, as always, the feedback. And that's really it. I hope everyone's doing well out there in February. It's super cold out. Been going back and forth with some new folks. Carm, Gorbo. It's good to talk with you, and Rob Panix, of course, always. Yeah, been cool to check out all the new channels I've been finding too. Davis, I've been enjoying your those jazz videos. The Tone Poet series was really good. I only have one Tone Poet, but in any case, that was great to read or hear. I don't show a lot of the new jazz I buy just because a lot of people are, and I'm sort of like, I don't know if anyone needs this, if I'm going to bring any more to that. So, but in any case, thanks everybody. It's been fun being a part of this, and be well. Take care.